Hey guys, welcome back to the Hat House. Have you ever lost something and couldn't find it? Well, today, that's what we're doing. We're seeing what we can find because we're going to do inventory. We're going to go through each one of our boxes, we're going to pull them out, and we're going to get them on the table and find out if what's in there is supposed to be in there. So I'll explain a little bit more on the other side, so stick around. Good morning guys, my name's Steven.
I'm Mary.
Welcome back to the Hat House, and today we have a daunting task. We're going to go through an entire rack of our inventory, and we're going to take everything out and we're going to make sure that it's in the right box, that we still have the item, and that we don't have it duplicated anywhere else. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the computer, we're going to pull up that box. So we're going to go to H1, we're going to pull this box down, we're going to set it on the table, and we're going to make sure every item in that box is supposed to be there. There's a couple of reasons that we're doing this. One is we started using Vendoo and we've cross-listed a lot of items, and it does a pretty good job at taking items down that sell on Poshmark and eBay, but it doesn't always catch everything that comes down off Mercari. We have to do that manually, and we do forget things from time to time. So we want to make sure that everything's right. The second reason is fourth quarter is here, and we want to make sure that everything goes smoothly. We don't have any out of stocks. Our inventory is right. When we come out to pick something, we want to make sure that we know it's there, and we just kind of want to see where we're at on our inventory process, on what might be screwing things up, if there is anything screwed up. So we want you guys to come along with us on the journey. We'll get started. I'm sure I'll fast forward through some of the parts where it's going to take us probably an hour to go through that rack if I was guessing. But we'll go through that rack, and then we'll share the results with you on kind of what we saw, what was left, and what we needed to fix. So we'll see you guys on the other side. So guys, you can see things started off kind of slow. Mary was getting the boxes down. I was looking them up on the computer. She was kind of showing me what was in the box, and I was either taking them off or saying, no, this one's not in there. And then you can see the box on my left right here. Those are the hats that weren't listed at all, or we just unlisted them because we wanted to either relist them, or maybe we knew that they weren't going to be that good of a selling hat. So we decided to go ahead and maybe we'll lot those up later and get them sold that way. So about 3/4 of the way through this rack, Mary has a great idea. And so she just starts looking the box up on her phone, and she starts going through the boxes herself and kind of finding out what's supposed to be in that box. And if there was a problem, then she was just setting that over to the side for me, and then I would look it up. I was looking it up on Mercari, I was looking it up on Vendoo, just to make sure that hat wasn't listed somewhere else, and if it wasn't, then I would set it to the side. This really made things go a lot faster once we got this process down. It ended up taking us about an hour for this rack to get completely done, so I would really like to be able to do it faster, especially since we have so many racks left to do. Alright guys, we finally got done. That took about an hour just to get through one rack, and that's probably about 400 or 500 hats that was on that rack. And then we came up with a box of about 20 to 30 items of hats that weren't listed. There were some really good ones in there, because we found through most of them they were sold at one point, but they didn't get relisted. So we're going to go back through, we're going to relist some of those hats, get them back up on eBay, and I think we found a better way to do it. Don't you think so?
Yes, definitely.
So let them know what the new way was.
I use my phone and I go through the box and then pull out everything that's not listed or maybe cross-listed, and then he can look it up separately while I go into the next box.
Yeah, that went a lot faster. It was me just trying to fix what we found might be errors, while she could continue to go through the boxes quickly to see what was right and what was wrong. And I just kind of took care of the exceptions and fixed those and then put those aside. So I think we can get through the next rack probably in about 30 or 45 minutes by doing it that way. Hopefully it'll cut down, but an hour. And if you've watched my video about how my setup is, you'd know we have 11 of these racks in here. So that would take us about 11 hours at the current pace to go through and do the inventory on the entire hats in the shed. So hopefully we can cut that down to about 30 minutes, and I think we might have figured it out. All right, guys, this is the last rack that we were really working on here. It ended up taking about 40 to 45 minutes per rack to get through all of them. A lot of these boxes, though, were really full of merchandise because we had condensed them not too long ago. So I guess I would say it's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is we did go faster even with more hats in the boxes. But the bad thing is it still took 40 minutes. The rest of our boxes aren't as full because we haven't condensed them as lately. So I'm hoping that they'll go a little bit faster than this one did. And I'm always open to suggestions on how we might be able to do this process faster. I know the first suggestion will be we'll get it right the first time, but that doesn't always happen, and sometimes we got to fix some errors that we make. All right, guys, we got wrapped up today. We got through 3 racks. The other 2 racks took us, 45 minutes a piece?
Yeah.
About an hour and a half to finish 2 other racks. And we ended up with a lot of stuff that wasn't listed. I'll show you that right now. So this is everything from both racks, or all 3 racks actually, that weren't listed. There's good news and bad news. How many would you say we couldn't find?
Maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, there was only a couple. That's the good news. There was only a couple that we couldn't find at all. Like if we went out there to pick that order, then we wouldn't have been able to find it. So that is really good. I was encouraged by that. Just a lot of the hats that were here were some that we had unlisted, or we know that got sold and then we didn't relist them when the buyer canceled, or they didn't pay after 4 days. And then some of them I took down just because of Vero concerns. I'd taken them down a couple of months ago and I didn't want to relist them there. So a lot of these hats I might end up lotting them up and just selling them as lots to get them going. And there are some good ones though. We'll definitely relist those back onto eBay and get those going. So overall, we've got 8 more racks to go. So we're figuring that'll probably take us about 6 to 7 hours to get all those done. So we'll probably do those over the rest of this week. Try to finish that up by Friday. Other exciting things going on. I did get my vintage hats in this week, so we'll definitely be doing an unboxing video for those. And then I should have another box of hats coming in, so we'll definitely get to those. We'll have an unboxing video this week. And then I'll wrap up here in just a second on how this inventory went. Thanks, guys. All right, really had fun sharing that with you. That's kind of the life of an eBay store that we have right now. We got to continually try to make it better. One thought that I had about 1 or 2 hats missing, we did about 1,000 hats in those 3 racks. So that would be possibly a 2% defect rate, which is a lot. I mean, I think you get 3% on eBay, and then you fall below standard. So it's still really important that we're always striving to be as accurate as possible so that we can deliver a good customer experience to our customers. I really appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. If you like this video, like it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I need you to do that too. We'll see you guys soon.